This is George Dionne of Metal Express Radio, and I'm here with Netta Laurenne. Almost got it right. Of Laurenne and Louhimo. How are you today, Netta?
I'm great. Thank you, George, for having me on your show.
Thanks for being on. The first thing I wanted to ask is if I knew absolutely nothing about the Laurenne Louhimo project here, how would you describe the music to me?
It is classic heavy metal and hard rock, like strong melodies, strong singing, strong guitars, just the way it was in the 80s or the golden years of heavy metal. But with of course, with a personal twist and a little bit of modern twist also to it. So yeah, but it really hits the right buttons on classic heavy metal and hard rock listeners.
I'd have to agree, and it's not. It takes a little departure from your other projects that you have. I mean, it doesn't sound much like Smackbound, a little bit because of your voice, and it doesn't sound much like Nora's other bands. So you got that going for you.
Yeah, it was clear that we didn't want to do Smackbound or we didn't want to do Battle Beast, and we wanted to do something that is, different from both of these. So we didn't want to kind of go close to any of those regions. We wanted to do something different when we had a chance to do something together, and we thought that going classic is the best way to do this.
Now, did you come to Frontiers with the idea of teaming up with Nora, or did they come to you with the idea?
I came to Frontiers with the idea. I've had that idea for years. And we were discussing, they said that if I ever have some kind of other productions that I'd like to do, they are really willing to discuss with me for doing a record deal for any of my other productions. And then when the pandemic started, I called Nora and asked if she wants to do this collaboration with me, and she said yes. And then we met and listened to some demos that we did with my husband Nino Laurenne, and then I basically contacted Frontiers saying that okay, now I have a thing that I want to do. So are you interested in talking to me about releasing it through Frontiers? And they said yes. So here we are.
Was there or is there any red tape when dealing with another artist that's on a different record label?
Yeah, often there is. But we kind of did this in a way that wasn't a problem to anyone, and Nora has the right to do these collaborations. She has featured in many other artists' albums, so she has a right to do these collaborations. Some people don't have it. It basically comes down to what kind of an agreement have you signed. So there are also a lot of bad agreements that artists have signed that they are actually tied down totally to work with a production or a collaboration that includes working for or an artist from another label. But fortunately, we didn't have that problem.
Now, from what I understand, you and Nora live kind of close to each other. Were you guys friends before this project, like besties, so to speak? Or was this a project that kind of brought you closer and you just knew of each other prior?
Well, there's like 300 kilometers between us.
Oh, okay.
But we have, at some point, I was born in Tampere area, and Nora lives there now. But we never really, I moved to Helsinki, our capital, the same year that Nora started to get out and into the rock scene, and I was leaving it because I moved to Helsinki. So we really didn't know each other well. We did know each other from, some parties and stuff like that, and we had collaborated on other music. So we knew each other, but it was more like, everyday small talk, how you're doing, and, having some wine together in a bar, but not really not really knowing each other deeply. And this, but we knew each other well enough to know that we wanted to work together. And this was a dream come true for both of us. So it took like 3 seconds for Nora to shout like, yes, let's do this. This really brought us closer, and we really got to know each other and became soul sisters during this project. So it's been a wonderful thing to happen.
The name of the album is The Reckoning. It came out on July 9th on Frontiers Music. It is a fantastic album. I love the album. I mean, some of the pairings at Frontiers didn't really work for me as a listener, but this one definitely works. Would you like to talk a little bit about the singles that have been released? Some artists don't like to talk about what their songs mean, so I'd ask first.
I can talk about it. First of all, it was my. I have to say that it was my. I wanted our artist name to be Laurenne of Louhimo, like Alan Lande. It wasn't Frontiers. They thought about something else, but I wanted it to be the same kind of collaboration name because that was the clearest thing to do when two singers are together. So that was, even though there was Alan Lande, it didn't came from the label. It came from us to wanting to use this name, so not to come up with a new artist name, but we wanted to use our just family names to really like do the same kind of stuff that Frontiers have done in the past, even though it's not they haven't kind of put us together. But The Reckoning is an album with a strong theme of reckoning with yourself. It is first and foremost the reckoning with yourself. It is looking in the mirror and trying to really see yourself truly the way you are, the good and the bad and the ugly, and kind of allowing yourself to kind of see yourself in your true colors and forgiving yourself the not so good things, and kind of choosing to develop yourself in a better direction, empowering yourself and having courage and finding the kind of be brave enough to work on yourself, to find your true calling, be true to yourself, listen to your inner voice, what you really want to be in the world, what do you really want to do in the world, and not just spending on this safety that is created, like the safety lifestyle that is basically created by fear in a lot of times in our lives. So we really want to push that boundary and help people to empower themselves to live their own lives to the fullest. So really find out what they are meant to do in this lifetime here, and really trying to follow that road and not be stuck on somewhere they don't belong just because they fear that they might fall. Because if you really truly follow what you are supposed to do and you hear it and you really see it, you can't fall down. There is safety in the inner guidance of every human being. So we are just telling people to trust it, because that's the way to find real happiness and freedom in life.
Absolutely, that's a good message. A lot of people tend to focus on the single Pitchfire. A lot of people like that one. What were you thinking when you wrote that?
It was one of the last songs. I think it was second or third last that we wrote to this album. Basically, it was the time when we started to analyze what we have now and realized that we have a lot of mid-tempo songs, because before that we were just we wanted to make the songwriting process really free of any analysis. So we didn't want to manipulate the music. We wanted it to come out wherever it came. And it was only in the end, when we were lacking like 3 songs, we started to look like what the album is going to sound like, and we realized that we need an up-tempo song for the album to really hit it and kind of glue everything together, just as well as we realized that we need a ballad. So both of them appeared, as the last of the songs that we wrote. So Pitchfire was really, we said like, okay, let's do a really energetic, kick-ass song to the album. And it just, we both love this, like Judas Priest and Iron Maiden and stuff like that. So it just accidentally came out that people have been, saying that it's a very Priesty song. And in a way it is, but it's nothing. It's still our own. That wasn't meant to happen. Like, we didn't think that we would do a Priesty song. We listened to it later on. We're like, that's kind of like Judas Priest from time to time. But we just wanted it to kick ass and really be energetic, to really make the album better and break up the tempos that we have on the album. So this is always later in the process of songwriting that we kind of look back to the album and see what it's going to be, and then do these kind of adds to it that is needed. Yeah. And the same thing with Hurricane Love, that we added it because we needed to shift the tempo between the album.
I think Hurricane Love is one of the strongest songs you have on the album. And, I understand you got to put a ballad because everybody has to put a ballad on, and you're trying to go for this hard rock metal sound, and Hurricane Love fits right in there. But I think it's a great song, even if you're saying it was added at the end.
Yeah, it was added at the end. And the funny thing is, of course, I knew that there was going to be a ballad because I'm a real lover of ballads. Like, I could do a whole album of ballads. I wouldn't do anything else but ballads. Maybe I'll do that sometimes and nobody listens to it.
You never know.
Yeah. But it was clear for me that there would be a ballad, but because it was that clear, we didn't work on it beforehand. And it was funny that Hurricane Love actually was created during a lunch hour when we were doing Pitchfire, and we got into a fight with my husband about with Pitchfire. I think it was a fight of a riff or something. We were like, what's it gonna be? And Nino said that, okay, you know what, I'm gonna make some lunch for us. So try to do something, try to write the ballad, okay? And he left the room, and then he came back and said that, hey, the lunch is ready. And I said, so is the ballad. So I was just singing on my piano, and I was playing on my piano and singing at the same time. So it was just very organic, and it came out in a second, the song. And I don't know what happened, with our little fight over there, but it kind of opened something that I wanted to be like in that. It opened something in my heart that I could put out this sadness or something, and. There it was. It doesn't tell about our fight at all. It's something deeper in my heart, but it kind of came during lunch hour. My husband cooking dinner for 20 or 25 minutes, and I was like, yeah, the ballad is ready. I'm like, come listen to it. And he said, like, let's eat first. It's getting cold.
Is this the first music that you've worked on with your husband, Nino? I know he's got his band Thunderstone, and you've got Smackbound. I don't know if you guys have contributed songs to each other's projects.
We haven't. We've stayed clear from our main projects together. Well, not totally. That's not totally true, though, because there's one song on Smackbound 2020 that has been written by me and my husband. Those Who Burn.
Okay.
It's mine and Nino's, and it was the first songs that was ever written to Smackbound. So that was kept there. But we haven't done a total album together ever. But we have worked like with Heavy Saurus. It's a children's music, and we have written songs to these there's Voice of Finland. It's like Voice of America, or is it Voice of America? But you have this voice of like, it's not Idols. It's not
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I understand what you mean.
So we have written songs to the winners of Voice of Finland together, and and a lot of different things, but not a total album. Never.
Okay. You posted some pictures on your social media site that you were filming a new video, and you both look a little beat up, you and Nora. Which song is that going to be the video for?
Striking Like a Thunder.
Another great song. Do you want to talk a little bit about that song?
Yeah, it's that's the ultimate song for call for freedom and never letting go, and just never giving up. And it was a really cool video shooting day. We were in the forest, running with handcuffs, and we got really hurt. And I don't know, I almost drowned into the water. But we're yes, but it was still very fun because everything we do together with Nora is we just enjoy so much, spending time together, that it's just, everything that is even horrific becomes fun when we do it together.
Absolutely.
So we were like really bruised and hurting, but we were just laughing all the time. Yeah, but it's an ultimate song for never giving up and just running towards freedom in your life. The goal is freedom, so that's what it stands for, Striking Like a Thunder, which I've been some reviews have said that there shouldn't be an A, but it's a poet's thinking that there can be, if I think about it as an adjective. So I added A because it felt better to sing, and I felt like I had the poet's freedom to do that. If I'm talking about it as an adjective, it's an inner feeling, like how you are. So yeah, but it's really about this self-empowerment and self-freedom and perseverance, I think.
You can use grammar any way you want. Don't listen to those critics. These are the same critics that probably abbreviate your with you are. So don't worry about that. You could say it any way you want.
Thank you.
You have a special edition vinyl version of The Reckoning, and you're selling it at EMP in Germany and Taste Wine Bar. Is this something that you and Nora are doing on your financed on your own, or is Frontiers helping with this special edition?
No, well, EMP Germany, they wanted to have their own red vinyl, so that's that they are supporting us with that.
Okay.
And I wanted to have like my own special edition, so I ordered the 100 pieces of it, which was the minimum, and I bought it. So that's really, you can only buy it from me. Mm-hmm. And there's going to be a web shop later on that you can buy it. Now I have a wine bar for this summer, and it's going to be close on the 30th of July. So after that, there's going to be a gap between getting it, but it will come to my web shop with other additional items, merchandises, and of course you can later on get them, hopefully from our live gigs, if there's still some available. So let's see.
So this wine bar is something that you run for the season?
Yes, I do. It's a summer pop-up wine bar. I'm a wine importer. So,
okay.
Yeah, I import wine to fine dining Michelin restaurants in Finland and from Spain and some other countries, Germany and Italy. And now I just wanted to put up a pop-up because the pandemic has been horrible, with arts being shut down, not able to perform, and the restaurants being shut down. So I really wanted to do something that, we still can't perform. So most of the festivals, well, every festival was canceled, or the rest of them we had to cancel because we couldn't, get the financials to work anymore, because there were just, one there, and we have to fly demo from Switzerland and stuff like that. So I just wanted to be out there, and do something nice for people, and for them to be able to visit and see and, talk. So I put this pop-up to Helsinki City Center for this July. So it's 1 month only.
Excellent. Are you still working on something with Smackbound, or do you think the future is going to be Laurenne and Louhimo?
No, we're working on our second album with Smackbound right now. So Demo is recording the guitars as we speak, and Rolle has already played the drums last week or the week before. And Demo is now doing his parts, and then we go on to keyboards and bass, and then I'm going to sing the album, and it's going to be out next spring. So,
awesome.
22.
Do you think you're going to be able to play any live performances, whether it's with Nora or whether it's with your band? Do you think that's going to happen this year?
I'm not sure about this year. Well, we have made a decision because people ask us to perform with Smackbound. We had made a decision because the release party and the release tour was kind of robbed away from us. And we feel kind of really weird, like starting now with an album that we never had a release party. So we are holding everything until the second album comes, and then we will tour, hopefully big time, with both two albums at the same time, so people can hear us then live.
Excellent. The new album is The Reckoning. It's out now. It's a fantastic album. I loved it. I encourage anyone to take a listen, and definitely to get their hands on the vinyls if they can. I want to thank you for speaking with Metal Express Radio today, Netta.
Thank you, George. It was great to talk to you, and I'm glad to hear that you enjoyed the album, and hopefully you will see me and Nora also live next year. We are trying to plan that.